So far, like we've had agents and human agents being graded on, I mean, CSAT is just one of the metrics, right? So now
Yeah.
with AI agents coming in, um, what's your take on having a separate customer experience score for, the AI agent conversation versus the human agent? Do you think that's where the industry is moving?
I think it should, right? If you got I've seen containment rates on, depending on industry, but ranging from 15 to 40% and even more in different sectors. Um, you kind of want to understand how their experience was, right? Um, and it might be, you're probably not going to get this experience blew me away all the time because I asked the question, I got an answer, and it was done. Some people are going to love that value and efficiency of their time, right? Some are just going to rate it as, it's a great table stake and good, you took care of things. Um, but it's still going to be incredibly important to manage and monitor, right? So if you do put this in, you do have to understand the CSAT of this is probably actually in certain ways almost more important than the CSAT of the human score, right? Because if you don't pay attention to it, it's just going to fly right by you, and you're never going to see it, right? With human scoring, you probably do have QA agents or things that will create exception reporting to shoot them out and stuff like that. But these type of things, you really want to be as on top of this as you are with the human agents, and it's relative. It's pretty simple as long as you have those sort of the triggers post the call and sending those out.
I like that. I like that point a lot on, you know, the the score for the AI agents being more, if not equally important as the human agents, because you already have a human in the loop. You have quality teams,
Right.
setting these conversations, but you need to do that even for AI agents so that you're able to provide that unparalleled customer experience. So I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense, right? Because even though we're transforming the IVR, that role in itself is not going away. It's actually probably becoming even more critical because with AI, you're probably not touching it as often. So, governance, control, all of that stuff is important. And then on the flip side, the metrics of is it working in which the way I wanted it to? Is it driving the right customer outcome? I love that.
Yeah.
So there's another thing that you mentioned, Mike, as you were just hitting all of those phenomenal points, and it was there is going to come a point in time when you are going to have to say, should I be moving fully over and sunsetting my old IVR? Let's unpack that a little bit because I think that there's a
Sure.
lot there that the audience is going to be excited for.
Yeah.
One that we hear all the time in the industry is start small, right? So, in theory, that sounds great, but I think as a CX leader, there's so much pressure around, quickly pivoting from a successful project to a successful program that's
Mhm.
scalable.
Yeah.
So that's quite a large question, but like, how do you think through, okay, let me start small, uh, just to build some momentum and maybe some comfortability and some trust. But
Yeah.
then how do you move very quickly to, hey, we have transformed the experience? And then I'll save my next question for after because those are two big ones.
Yeah, so I do think it's about starting small, but I think one of the big things I learned as we started small was we still sent all of our calls through it, right? So all of our calls uh, created a learning environment for observed AI's AI to learn, right? So let's say let's take a step back because I'm even getting ahead of myself here, right? So I do think having a strong strategy and plan for this is really appropriate, right? Um, and it can. I love the idea of starting small, but and growing faster. So let's say we do pick something relatively small. Hopefully, it's something that's low impact, high. Sorry, low risk, high impact, right? And we start putting either a portion of those contacts through or all of those contacts through. Monitor it, understand it. But before we do all that, we still want to hook our phone system up to it to have observe, kind of start learning about our calls, right? And learning, we probably, before we turned something on, I think we were well over 100,000 calls when we did it last year, right? Before we turned even a single piece of AI on, which creates a great foundation to start building on. Then you take that sort of one thing, you're looking for, is it saving me calls? Is it saving me handle time? Is it saving me, something along, one of the key variables, that, are important. Is it opening up more time for humans to work, after the call? Is it opening up just more, opportunities, more time to actually take calls and such, right? And then, absorb that benefit, right? Like understand like the benefit that you are getting, realizing, and by realizing it is either not hiring or allocating to other tasks that can create value,